jobs can only give you these three things. It's very important to know that. Okay, now I'll give you one more three. There are only three things you can buy with money. And this conversation also you have to have with your kids. What are the three things you can buy with money? See, when you're surviving, this question is meaningless. You have to get a little bit above middle class, upper middle, right? So what are the three things money can buy? One, real estate. You can buy a house you live in. You can buy a building. You can buy 3 houses. You can put them on rent. Or if you are not good at managing, don't buy. Buy stock market. Because managing real estate is a headache. Sometimes not worth the headache. But some people like, some people don't. Up to you, right? So one is real estate. Second thing you can buy with money, vehicles. I can buy one fancy car. I can buy a scooter. I can buy a fancy motorbike. I can buy a sailboat. I can buy 2 cars. I can buy 3 cars. I can buy an aeroplane. Vehicles. This is what people do. So what do rich people do with their money? Real estate, vehicles. Third is jewelry. Everything else is cheap, relatively cheap. Okay. So if your goal in life is not to buy one of these three things and feel good, then don't chase money. Let money come. Money, when you don't chase money, money comes.
For me, it's difficult to believe, Sandeep.
Yeah. See, because what happens is, when you don't chase money, you become good at something. Because you're not doing it just for, when you chase money, you're saying, okay, what will optimize the money? You keep adjusting your effort to make a little bit more money. When you're not chasing the money, meaning you're not ignoring the money, you say, if I'm not chasing money, what am I doing? Well, I'm trying to get good at this. Then when you become good at something, really, really good, people are willing to pay a lot of money for someone who's good at anything. And if you're really good at something useful, I'm really good at growing tomatoes. How many tomatoes do you grow? 1 plant. No.
Then you're not really good at it.
Well, in your definition, you have to change, you have to expand, right? So good things. Good thing meaning it has to, some value has to come out of that.
So what could that be? What good things are we talking about?
So I grow 1 million tomatoes. I can sell them. People can eat them. Not one tomato plant.
Okay, so that means you are serving the humanity also in that.
Well, no, I'm growing I'm good at something. Not serving humanity comes afterwards.
Okay.
Just I'm good at, but say I'm good at growing some drugs. Good. But legally speaking, you'll be in jail. Don't do that. Right.
Okay.
Right. Because that goodness only is effective if you become a research scientist for the government. Because they're the only ones who can legally grow. Nobody else. Right. So has to be good. Good meaning not drastically bad. That's all. But you have to be good at something, whatever it is. Okay. I'm good at making bread. Can you make 10,000 bread every day? Can you run a factory in which everything is automated and makes really high quality? Yeah, if you can, you'll be successful. Money will come to you. You have to get good at something. So money can only buy 3 things other than survival stuff. Clothing is never that expensive. Food is never that expensive. Travel is not that expensive, so. Right? But vehicle and travel are related. So if you can afford nice vehicle, then you can travel. So kind of related.
Clothing
right?
Can be, Sandeep, and the accessories, right?
No.
If you buy the top-notch
say my house costs $2 million. When will I spend $2 million in clothing? Very unlikely.
If you're very rich, then...
Very unlikely.
Okay.
Then that becomes jewelry. The really expensive clothing, after a while, is full of diamonds and gold only. It becomes jewelry.
Okay.
Only 3 things. When I say 3 things, only 3 things. And nobody really buys that expensive clothing unless it's an art piece, museum piece, right? You can spend money on art also. That's possible, right? But I will put that in the jewelry category. Something that is worth looking at and appreciates in value. Jewelry. So jewelry is a loose term here. Yeah, it includes all these things, right? And vehicles is a rapidly depreciating asset. Everybody knows. Very few cars increase value in time? Mostly they don't. Sailboats, definitely not, because they just rot in the ocean, right? Aeroplanes, definitely not, because they get outdone with technology. All the other vehicles are only some vintage cars, special models. Otherwise, so but their value, because everybody's impressed. You feel good about it. You drive in it. You enjoy it. Satisfaction, right? So, okay, let's come back to our topic today, which is this conversation is necessary because it helps change your child's mindset on why I am doing what I'm doing, and they're not unnecessarily disappointed when they get their dream job and they make their money and they say, I'm not happy. Why am I not happy? You've prepared them by saying happiness will come from relationships. Happiness will come from inner awareness, how to be grateful, how to put the real meaning, understand the real meaning of life by understanding first how to be free of fear, how to be free of all these ignorances that we are born with. Okay, getting past the ignorances that we are born with is a necessary part to being happy. But getting a job doesn't require that much thinking. It requires a little bit of work in growing the intellect. So I can study hard, I have the discipline. So let's come back to that. So this is relevant to becoming a better student. So let's continue. All right. So now as a parent, I have this conversation with your children at what age? At any age. From 10 onwards, 11, 12. Depending on the kid's maturity. And then again, when they are 15 or 16. Because now they will have a different feedback, different set of questions for you. Okay. And again, when they're 21, you'll be amazed. Because now they have 21, they've been to college, they've come back, or they've got a job as an intern or something and, understood a little bit of how to be living away from home, right? And they'll have a slightly different conversation with you, or 25, depending on, situations. Okay. So this same conversation happens a couple of times, 3 times. Now, as a parent, what can you do to help your kids study better and be more effective? Now, so last week, there were 3 things I said that I will cover today. Okay. I said you need team skills, kindness, and fairness. Right? So these are skills that you as a student have to practice so that your studying effort is more cohesive, more intelligent, and better. The knowledge lands better inside your brain. Why? Because in team skills, not only sports teams, right? You group study with your friends, where you say, hey, we have an exam coming up, let's do some group study. And you study these 2 chapters, and then you summarize for the rest of us, right? And then we will each go and get the summary from you, and then we will go do our own study of each of all the 6 chapters in this case, right? And we all have to know it individually, but you will speed us up because you'll do the in-depth of each, right? Each one does an in-depth of 2, and then teaches everybody else. That way, when I do that, the chapters I didn't specialize, I didn't work hard in, and I run into a question, I'll ask you, and you'll clear my doubt, so I don't have to fight the textbook and waste 6 hours trying to figure that out. Right? Team study. So team skills. Right? Then kindness. Why? Without kindness, there is no team study. There is no team skills.
How does kindness affect the team skills?
Nobody wants to be in your team if you're unkind. And what is kindness? Kindness is not having a problem with somebody who's ignorant. Right? Why? Because you all said 2 chapters for you, 2 for you, 2 for you, right? So of course, we are ignorant in the other 4 chapters. So accept my ignorance with kindness. Explain to me what's going on. And I will explain to you what's going on in the chapters you didn't study. Right? I'm not judging you. I'm honoring the fact that you are willing to work with me, and your ignorance and your lack of knowledge in any area, your lack of abilities in any area is not something I am going to hold against you. I'm going to be kind in the way I treat you. Not hoardy, not egotistical, not looking down, not holier than thou. that I know more, I'm smarter. No. Kindness. Okay. Kindness is a very difficult concept to have inside you until you learn to respect all society, all religions, all people. Most people fall down in having not enough kindness to people that are not like them.
Mm-hmm.
They are nice to people like them, and then they're unkind to people not like them. And for you to be able to see that we are all like each other. And when you look at the earth from space, there are no nations, there's no boundaries, there's no people. It's a small, tiny, tiny, tiny little speck of dust floating on a tiny little sun. You're subdividing atoms and saying, oh, this atom is slightly better colored than this other atom. Yeah, they're all atoms only. Why are you coloring atoms? They don't have their colors coming from outside. To see that is a lot of elevation. It's a huge amount. Okay.